Hi all. Today let's discuss about Marie Curie Postdoctoral Fellowship. It is also known as Marie Curie Postdoc Fellowship or MSCA Postdoc Fellowship. This comes under the European Union's Horizon program. So, do you dream about a postdoc in any of the European Union country? Then here it is. This is the one. So, let's dive into the eligibility criteria and other requirements for this fellowship. So, what is it? Under this Marie Curie Fellowship, it has two types of postdoctoral fellowship. One is European Postdoctoral Fellowships, the other one is Global Postdoctoral Fellowships. So let's see what each of these are, what are the differences, what are the requirements, etc. The European Postdoctoral Fellowships are open to researchers moving within Europe or coming to Europe from another part of the world. That is, those are Europeans as well as people or researchers of other nationalities can apply for this. For people from outside Europe, they fund the mobility of the researchers. The standard duration of these fellowships is between 12 and 24 months, that is 1 to 2 years. These fellowships takes place in a European member state country as well as Horizon Europe associated countries as well. The Global Postdoctoral Fellowship is something a bit complicated or little bit different from the European Postdoctoral Fellowship. So this is primarily open to European nationals and long-term residents of European Union member states and Horizon Europe associated countries, and this is for those who want to carry out research and innovative projects with organizations in European member states as well as associated countries. So where the trick is, this fellowship can last anywhere between 2 to 3 years, and there are certain conditions to it. If it is for 2 years, then the first year, and if it is for 3 years, then the first 2 years, the researcher has to spend in a non-associated third country, do research in a non-associated third country, and then followed by a mandatory return phase of 1 year to an organization based in a European Union member state or Horizon Europe associated country. So it should be like you should do your research, complete your research in 2 different countries. And here also the mobility of the researcher outside the Europe will be fully funded. For both these fellowships, European postdoc or global postdoc, there are certain additional perks. So that is basically to build a bridge between the academic and non-academic sectors. So researchers can receive an additional support to carry out a placement of up to 6 months in a non-academic organization, or it can also be some industries or NGOs which is based in the European Union member state or Horizon Europe associated country, and the only condition is that it should be at the end of their fellowship, towards the last 6 months of their fellowship. We have seen what these postdoctoral fellowships are. Now let's see who can apply for these postdoctoral fellowships. Applicants who have successfully defended and got the doctoral degree can definitely apply for this, but also those who have not yet formally awarded the degree but have submitted their thesis can also be considered with some conditions. And another important thing is, there must be a maximum of 8 years experience in research from the date of award of their PhD degree and the application deadline. That is, from the date of your PhD award degree awarded date to the application deadline, the maximum years of research experience should be 8 years. That maximum should be noted, and there are certain conditions. The years of experience outside research is not considered. That is, if you have any industrial experience or other experience other than research, it will not be counted towards that. Then career breaks will not be counted. Also, years of experience in research in third countries will also be not counted. In third countries means, in the European Union website, if you see, there is a list of countries which is considered as third countries by the European Union, and India is among the third countries. That is, if you have any number of years of experience in India after your PhD, it will not be counted towards the years of experience. Another important eligibility criteria associated with these postdoctoral fellowships is the disciplines. It is important to note that all disciplines are eligible for these fellowships. There is a common notion that only science subjects are considered for Marie Curie fellowships, but it is not true. If you are from social science backgrounds, humanities, arts, those subjects have equal weightage as well. And also the Euratom research and training program research areas, which is the nuclear research areas, are also covered by the Marie Curie fellowships. And coming to another very important criteria for the Marie Curie fellowships is related to certain mobility roles. So those who intend to apply should follow certain mobility rules. That is, if a person plan to do Marie Curie postdoc in a particular host organization or institution in a certain European Union country, so to avoid confusion, let's take they want to do it in Germany. They plan to do it in Germany. He or she should make sure that they have not resided or carried out their main activity, that is research, study, work, etc., in that country, in Germany, for more than 1 year in the last 3 years before the application deadline. Now let's see what does the funding covers. The EU provides support for the recruited researcher in the form of a monthly living allowance, which is typically 5,000 euros, which is a gross amount. Tax will be deducted from this. Then a mobility allowance of maximum 600 euro and family allowance if applicable. The total grant include these allowances for the fellow in addition to the funding for the host institution to cover the research, training, management and some other indirect costs. And here a country specific coefficient adjustments to the exact living allowance amount will be made to account for the local cost of living. Let's see how the application process is. To apply, you must first create a profile on the funding and tenders portal in the website. I'll give you the link to that in the description box. Interested researchers must submit an application together with a host organization. That is, before submitting a proposal, you should identify a host organization and a mentor and together develop a proposal. Then later in the website there is call for proposals, and there you have to select the call for proposal which you wish to apply for, and there is a online proposal submission form which is available in the Marie Curie website. That also the link I will give in the description box. There you have to submit your proposal before the deadline. And coming to the hosting offers, there is list of hosting offers available or published in the EURAXESS and other job portals from various research institutions in support of your application. You can check for the offers. If something aligns with your proposal, you can respond to that, and based on that also you can submit the application form. This application submission is a very lengthy process. The application covers around 42 pages and is divided into two parts, A and B. The part A includes the general disclosures, your personal information, host information and various other declarations and all. The part B includes technical data, which is mainly the proposal and CV. The proposal should be drafted very carefully because the selection follows a scoring criteria. For individual criteria, the threshold score is 3, and the overall threshold, the sum of the 3 individual scores will be 10. So the criteria is well documented in the work program part of the application process, which is also available in the website. The link to that work program I'll attach in the description box. The proposal also has strict word limits, page limits, character limits, and if not followed, warning signs will be given. AI generated content should be thoroughly reviewed. They are not asking to do not use AI generated contents, but it should be thoroughly reviewed and validated by the applicant to ensure its appropriateness and accuracy, as well as its compliance with intellectual property regulations. Coming to the selection criteria, it mainly have 3 criteria: excellence, impact and implementation, and each of them have different weightages. Excellence have about 50% weightage, impact 30% and implementation potential 20%. They thoroughly examine the project's scientific quality and the fellow's career development plan based on the proposal and give the scores. A score of 90% or above is usually required for an application to be successful. But also in the cases application scoring 85% or above but less than 90%, they receive a seal of excellence. If you have a seal of excellence or receive a seal of excellence, it indicates a quality label. So if you have it, you can then use it to seek alternative funding from other national or regional programs. It indicates that the Marie Curie currently have funding limitations, but the proposal is good enough to get funding from another sources. And again, one more case is if the proposal submitted to previous year's call, if you want to resubmit it, there is one condition. In the previous year, if it has received a score of less than 70%, then you cannot resubmit it in the next year. Then here the resubmission means proposals involving the same individual researcher and the recruiting organization or organizations. All the relevant documents and information which is necessary before submitting the documents or proposal is available in the Funding and Tender Opportunities portal, MSCA Work Program and General Annexes, Guide for Applicants, Specific FAQ section, Application and Evaluation Forms. Also, the self-assessment tool in the website is a guideline on the calculation of 8 years of research experience. I'll give the link to all of these in the description box for easy navigation. Thank you for watching the video. For any doubts or clarifications, you can comment below. Please go through the links given below and the Marie Curie website for a thorough understanding of the very lengthy and a little bit complicated application process, and make sure that you submit your applications well in advance. Thank you once again.